What is up, everybody? My name is Harris. Welcome back to the channel. Today is another video for 2022's 25 Days of Harry. And today, as you can probably tell by the title or the way that the webcam is structured, we're going to be doing my ranking of every single NHL team. Yeah, I do this video every year. I think there's some drastic changes. I'd like to think there are. Yeah, there's some changes that I think are pretty notable. We'll get to those when we get to them. And we're going to start off with my least favorite NHL team. This is kind of going to be separated into kind of tiers. I'm not going to rank them in a tier list format. Actually, let me try something real quick. All right, so we are here. We are live doing the tier list. I decided very, very last second from when I'm recording this, why not? Let's do a tier list. Let's make this into a cliche because I'm gonna have another tier list in a couple days. Spoilers. Why not rank every NHL team 32-1 on a ranking scale? Yeah, this is kind of gonna be, I guess, like 4 tiers. I guess S is gonna be my favorite team. A is going to be I really like them. B is going to be like them. C is going to be meh. D is going to be I hate them. And it's ironic for starting with the Edmonton Oilers because they are number 32. The Oilers, I'm not a fan of the organization ever since they hired they signed Evander Kane, who's a known wife beater. Clearly shows that they have no morals. I'm not a massive fan of the Oilers. The only guys I really like there are Leon Draisaitl and Tyler Tullio, who's a prospect of theirs. I feel like if Tullio were to request a trade, that would probably be best for his career, I think. Yeah, the Oilers, I'm not a massive fan of them at all. And if they were to contract, I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. Number 31 is the Ottawa Senators. Oh, can I? Okay, I'm going to have to do it like this. Whatever. The Ottawa Senators, their fan base is maybe the worst in the NHL. Maybe one of the worst, probably, at the very least. Everybody was overhyping these guys to easily be the fourth wildcard spot. The fourth in the division, and everybody was going to take that next step. DeBrincat was going to be a 50-goal scorer. Tim Stützle was going to score 90 points, and none of that will happen this year. The Senators are still complete garbage. Who would have thought you build a losing culture, your team's going to be ass forever? DJ Smith is a terrible head coach. Everybody went after Jack-Eye that one game because he followed up on a clean hit. No. The Sens gave a dirty hit. He followed up with a clean hit, and everybody went after him. DJ Smith started crying like a little bitch. And, I don't know, it's just funny seeing the Senators hate the Habs so much when they're just helping us out, and they're probably going to draft really horribly, or if they do get one of the big two in Bedard or Michkov, they're probably going to ruin them like they've ruined every other player that's gone through the organization. Number 30 is the team I'm highlighting. It is the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hartford Whalers, I should say. The Hartford Whalers, trash fan base as well. Their Twitter account is actually pretty funny. Is it this team? No, I'm thinking of Nashville. It's easy to confuse the two. They both have really bad fan bases. We'll get to Nashville eventually, obviously. But Carolina, their Twitter guy, actually can be funny occasionally, but most of the time, he's really just not that good. He doesn't really make funny jokes. Yeah, their Twitter guy. The team on the ice is pretty all right. I actually watched the Canes game the other day. They were not too bad, but just they got a couple guys I don't like. You guys probably know the few I don't like. If you don't, just look at the roster and you'll be able to tell. The way they handled the Dougie Hamilton and Alex Nedeljkovic situations were fucking hilarious. How they were willing to give up a first-round pick, a first and a second for Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and then sign him to a massively, at least $3 million overpaid 8-year extension, and then let go of their franchise defenseman and starting goaltender for nothing. It shows how bad that the Carolina Hurricanes are, and especially how bad Don Waddell is. He really has not learned from his days in Atlanta. He really hasn't, and I think it's funny. I'm going to end up putting every team in the D tier, and I'm going to forget about it until the very end, I guarantee. Next up is the Vegas Golden Cucks. Yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights, just the way they've handled their situations the past year and a half, the Pacioretty thing, the Marc-Andre Fleury thing, especially how they've handled Robin Lehner. Just how they've treated a lot of their players has not rubbed me the right way. It has not jerked me off. But no, Vegas, trash organization. I pity their players and some of their fans. A lot of their fans are toxic, garbage, pieces of shit. Tape to tape. But but yeah, no, I don't care for Vegas all that much. I don't mind them. Which because of this ranking, yes, does mean that the San Jose Sharks are above San Jose. However, it does not mean they're much. No, we're not getting to them just yet. We will get to them later. But next up in the D tier is the New York Rangers. Original six team, the first original six team that comes up. Fuck you, Senators fans. You are not an original six franchise. But yeah, the Rangers just not a. Ew, that was weird. That was gross. I'm sorry for you guys need to see that. But the New York Rangers, I'm not a massive fan of them. They've got alright logo, an okay jersey. I mean, they play in Madison Silent Garden. You know, they play in the world's quietest arena. You know, the team on the ice isn't good. Everybody's overrating the New York Rangers. Everybody was saying top of the Metro easily. Igor's the only reason they'd even be near there. I like Artemi Panarin. It sucks that he's been stuck with New York and didn't sign with, I don't know, who were the other teams that were offering him? I think Calgary offered on him at one point. The Islanders, I think, offered him a contract when he was a free agent. I'm just not a fan of the Rangers. Their fan base is also pretty toxic. I don't like a lot of their fans. And they blame the refs way too quickly whenever something doesn't go their way, and I think that it's pretty goddamn funny the way that happens. And yeah, the Rangers, they're in the D tier. Next up in the D tier, I have a lot of teams I don't like. The Nashville Predators. Nashville, they've gotten a little bit better since I think last year. I think I ranked them last year, if not 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure I ranked them last year, though. I'm pretty sure I ranked every NHL team. But the Nashville Predators they're just kind of bland. They're bordering onto like where they're above Tampa. Spoiler. They're bordering where they're above Tampa, and then there's moments where they'll go below them. Like Pecorine scoring a goal. That was super cool. That was nice to see that happen. But then their fans are toxic still, and there's a reason they're called Trashville. They're D tier for me. And the final D tier team for me, as you guys could probably tell, is probably going to be Tampa. And you know, yeah, I'll put them above Nashville. Weirdly enough, I got to put them below for them to be above technically. But you know what I mean. Well, I'll put them below Nashville. Actually, no, yeah, that does make sense. Tampa I don't like Tampa Bay. A lot of their players are garbage. A lot of their players are just dirty Russians. Mikhail Sergachev. There's clean Russians like Ovechkin and Malkin, and then there's the dirty Russians like fucking Sergachev. I was gonna say Mishkov. No, Mishkov's a clean Russian. Fucking dirty Russians like Sergachev. A lot of the Russians that end in off in the NHL right now, for some reason, seem to be the dirty Russian kind. And if your name ends with an N, you're probably a clean Russian. That's really weird. But you know, like Kucherov, Sergachev, those guys, I don't like those guys. But yeah, Tampa. I like Stamkos. I think if he were to request a trade out of Tampa, that'd probably be best for him. He's won 2 cups there, and that's probably all he's gonna get out of Tampa Bay. I was gonna say, wait, no, he has 3, but nope. I don't think he was in Tampa when he was like 13 years old in 2004. I'm not a fan of Tampa. And it's not even the dynasty either. It's the going $20 million over the cap, like everybody says. I like a year ago, if I were to rank them, they would be like down here with Ottawa and Edmonton. But just their fan base and their management has been like so garbage. And the same with like Vegas and Carolina and the Rangers fans. That Tampa I still hate them, but they kind of have to go above those teams for obvious reasons. All right, so we're probably going to be getting into the C tier now. I should probably actually, yeah. Let me do this. I have a list. I have a list that I'm keeping track of all these teams. So I'm not going to edit any of this out. Most likely, we're already 9 minutes in, which is not that bad. If anything, it's good because it means that I'm talking a lot. All right, so in the C tier, the first team up, Winnipeg Jets. They've had some controversy recently, and by recently I mean 2 days ago as I'm recording this. Probably like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, involving Dallas Stars. That controversy. I think the Stars were on the right. I think Morrissey pushing Ben into Hellebuck is laughably dumb of Josh Morrissey. And I feel like Morrissey injured Hellebuck there accidentally, and it was kind of funny, you know. Keep blaming Ben, I guess, Jets fans. But yeah, the Jets, I'm whatever about them. Their jerseys and their logo aren't that good. Some of their players are pretty good. I like Kyle Connor. But the Mark Scheifele incident with Jake Evans still just rubs me the wrong way. I still kind of hope, not the worst for this team, but just that they're middling. I just hope they're mediocre. That's really how I feel about the Jets. I'm not a massive fan of them. Next up is Columbus, the epitome of bland and boring. Columbus doesn't really have anything exciting going on for them. Hell, when the Canadians play the Blue Jackets every time, I'm like, ugh, can't we just play like Colorado or Anaheim or something? Dude, does Columbus even need a hockey team? Like, realistically, we could contract Columbus and give a hockey team to Houston, and that would make the NHL so much better. It would be so much more profitable just to take the team out of Columbus, Ohio. Like, I don't know. It seems like I'm hating on Columbus, but really they're just boring. They're just bland. I don't like teams that are bland and boring, you know? Next up is the Minnesota Wild. Okay, apparently I can move them around like this. But the Minnesota Wild, they're okay. I mean, I love Kirill Kaprizov. I think he's one of the best getting into his prime type of NHL players right now. He is just phenomenal to watch. I like Matt Zuccarello. I think he's a great presence, great player in the NHL. I like Marc-Andre Fleury. I want to see him do well in Minnesota. It sucks that as of recording this, he hasn't so far. But Minnesota, I've actually grown on their jerseys a little bit. I kind of like them. Their logo being a bear is still kind of stupid to me, though. But overall, I don't mind this team. Yeah. In the C tier, they were honestly bordering on D until they made the hiring that I really enjoy. But that is the Philadelphia Flyers and them signing Nick fucking Delorier to a 4-year, okay, there we go, to a 4-year extension, or a 4-year contract, and then signing John Tortellini himself, John Tortorella, is maybe one of the memeiest, one of the funniest things imaginable. I love the Flyers for how much of a lolcow they are, but I hate them because they're the Philadelphia Flyers, and Philadelphia doesn't deserve a hockey team. We already have Pittsburgh. They're clearly the better team. You can contract Philadelphia at this point. But Philly, another garbage fan base. For the most part, they're all really, really bad. The team is okay. They were projected to be better with Tortellini. Who would have thought signing Rasmus Ristolainen to a 5-year contract is not going to help your team be better? But yeah, Philly, they're whatever. They're bland. Who cares about Philadelphia? Next up is the Chicago Blackhawks. Funny enough, the 2 finalists for 2010. The Kyle Beach situation took them out of the top 10 for me. The Kyle Beach situation, just the way everybody hid that. They would have been in D tier, but it's been a year. Brad Aldridge is gone. Everybody has just that whole situation is dissipated to an extent. They're higher than Philadelphia because can I really put them lower than Philadelphia, an original 6 franchise like that? Their fans are usually pretty alright. Still Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews are solid. Kirby Dach, the thing that happened with him a couple nights ago, that's pretty fucking cool. That was awesome to see. Chicago, I like them. I don't even know why I put them in C tier. It's because of the Kyle Beach thing. I put them in C tier just because that next year they'll likely be back in the B tier if I do a tier list next year. But yeah. 20, technically, still in the C tier, is Detroit. At this point, the epitome of overrated. They have an overrated prospect pool, in my opinion. They have an overrated team. Everybody said they were going to be really good this year, and then they're... What are they? Wait, did I open 2 tier lists for this? Oh, I did. I'm sorry, boys. I opened 2 tier lists. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. But yeah, Detroit, they're the epitome of overrated to me. I hate, but their prospect pool is not top 5 at all. Don't think their team is going to be anywhere near good for the next 2-3 years again. Especially if Philip Zadina keeps not panning out the way he hasn't been. Moritz Seider, I think, is really damn good. I love Moritz Seider. And just, they have a lot of issues still that I don't know if their prospect pool is going to be able to fix. Just Detroit, I think they're the epitome of bland. I don't like their logo. I don't like their jerseys. I think they're incredibly bland. Detroit, number 20, they're just kind of whatever. Coming in at number 19. Number 19 is, I'm debating on if this is still C or B. I think at this point we're still in C. We're bordering on B. I feel like we're going to go into a mix of B and C at this point. But Calgary's going to be in a C, I think. I like Calgary. Some of the things they do are kind of a yikes. I think getting Matthew Tkachuk, trading Matthew Tkachuk was a bit of a yikes. Getting Huberdeau was all right. I like Calgary. I think getting Mackenzie Weegar was a big W for them. I really, really like Mackenzie Weegar. I like them as a playoff team. I like their chances. Tyler Toffoli, of course, a former Montreal Canadian, is in Calgary now. And I like him. I like Toffoli in Calgary. You know what? Yeah, honestly, I'm going to put them in B. I like Calgary. And I'm going to put them in B, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to put them in B. Vancouver's also going to go in B, actually. Vancouver is also going to go in B. I want to see the team play well. I want to see the team do good. They deserve it after, 57 years of being the league's punching bag and counting. I want to see Bruce Boudreau get them into the playoffs, but it's not going to happen. And before I upload this video, and the Canucks are in a playoff spot somehow. But the Canucks, I want to see them do smart moves. I don't want to see them extend JT Miller to an 8-year contract. And he performs terribly the first season of it. And he's probably not going to be able to be traded away. And before I upload this video, and he's traded away the day before I upload it. I want to see the Canucks move their guys for multiple first-round picks and draft well with those first-round picks. I want to see Andrei Kuzmenko pan out into a 60-point scorer and re-sign with the Canucks. My hope for the Canucks really is kind of like Shannon. It relies on optimism in a way. Shannon is very realistic, the hockey guy. I just have hope for the Canucks. Like, come on. Like, you're Vancouver. You can do it. You want to give them hope in a way. And just Vancouver, if it'll pan out, that'd be nice. Next team I think I will put in the C tier just because I don't really think I can put them in B and say I like them. But the San Jose Sharks, they're going to be in C. Love their old school jerseys. Love the actual teal jerseys. Hate their current logo. I hate that curved triangle. The original one with the straight triangle was perfect. Was perfect for the San Jose Sharks. I wanted to see Joe Thornton get a cup and Patrick Marleau, but they were up against Pittsburgh, who, spoiler, I really like. They're going to be an A most likely. I'm pretty sure. For me, San Jose's a C. I don't know if they have an amazing prospect pool. It's funny seeing Jack Olsen hype up a prospect every year. One of my mods and someone in my sim league. It's funny seeing Jack Olsen hype up a guy that he really wants the Sharks to draft, and either he gets picked right before the Sharks select him, or the Sharks trade away the pick, and the team that they trade the pick to picks that guy instead. But San Jose's in a C. I kind of pity their franchise. They're going through a rebuild. But then again, when your GM claims, oh, we're not in a rebuild, and then you listen to offers on Erik Karlsson, you're in a fucking rebuild. But, yeah. Next up, I'm torn about this team. I want to put him in C. I want to put him in B. I don't know how I feel. But you know what? New Jersey, I'm actually going to put in B. I really like Jack Hughes. I think Jack Hughes is one of the best young forwards in the NHL. They've got some solid players. Tomas Tatar, former Montreal Canadian as well. I don't mind him. He's pretty all right. New Jersey, I don't mind them. I like them. I'll root for them if they're, like when they were on that 13-game winning streak, I rooted for them. When the thing against Toronto happened, I agreed with them because I think all 3 of those goals that they got disallowed should have fucking counted. They should have won that game. They should be on as I'm recording this, I think it's 16-game winning streak they should be on because I think they won their last 3 after Toronto. I can't English. They won their last 2. They should be on a 16-game winning streak, I think. Overall, I like New Jersey, and I would like to ideally root for them probably in the Stanley Cup playoffs if Montreal's in it or if Montreal's been eliminated. If Montreal isn't in it or Montreal's been eliminated, so New Jersey, I don't mind them. Next up, I'm going to put this team in B because I really like their jerseys. I like their roster. Seattle. Seattle, who drafted, of course, Shane Wright over after Montreal New Jersey and Arizona all passed on him, and I just realized that is the wrong Arizona logo. Shame on you, whoever made this tier list. But yeah, Seattle. They drafted Shane Wright. I'm hoping for the best for him over there. However, with the way things are looking, at the time of recording, he's been in the AHL. Slavkovsky's still in the NHL. I think we know who won that draft. But yeah, Seattle. I really like their jerseys. I love some of their players. Oliver Bjorkstrand, Daniel Sprong when he was playing there. Or no, I think he went back there actually. Yeah, I love Daniel Sprong. Jordan Eberle is pretty cool. I like him. They've got some good players. They're a nice underdog team to root for. I'm hoping they make the playoffs this year. We'll see if they do. But Seattle, I don't mind them overall. Next up, coming in at number 14, this is also going to be a team that's in B, B or C. I'm going to put them in B. I'm going to put the Dallas Stars there. Jason Robertson is great. Love him. Of course, who doesn't like what's his name? Joel Kiviranta. Who doesn't like Joel Kiviranta? Anton Hudobin. Feel bad for him that he can't play NHL hockey because he's old. Yeah, I like some of their players. I love their current jerseys. I think that logo as well is just great. Love the logo. Dallas is in B because of that. Not really much of a reason for me to say I like them in B other than jerseys, and I like some of their players. I think Radulov left for Russia. See, Radulov, he's for some reason one of the V's that's a clean Russian for some reason. I really like Alex Radulov. Glad we didn't re-sign him though. But yeah, Dallas is in B. Next up is a team I'm debating putting in A because I do really like them. But at the same time, I'm going to put him in B because everybody I think is going to have him in A. No. Fuck it. I'm going to put him in A. Actually, no. We're not going to get to them yet. Next up, going in C is St. Louis. St. Louis is kind of bland. They're kind of whatever. They won a Stanley Cup off the back of Jordan Binnington. And now everybody hates Jordan Binnington because he has a personality, which is what we want to see out of NHL players. And then when NHL players show personality and emotion, we don't like them when they do that. I don't know. NHL fans are weird. But St. Louis and C, I don't know why I put them above Dallas and Seattle and San Jose. They're bland. They're whatever. Not a fan of their current team all that much. I think they've been overrated by some people, a little bit underrated by some people. Just not a fan of St. Louis, honestly. Just not a big fan of them. Next up, I will put this team in an A tier, I think, because I do really like them. I like watching them whenever I get the chance to. That's Colorado. Colorado, I enjoy watching them a lot. Colorado, of course, your most recent Stanley Cup champions at the time of 2022's Christmas. Colorado is just filled to the brim with elite talent, of course. Cale Makar, who is a top 3 player in the NHL, in my opinion, is probably Draisaitl, Makar, and then someone else, probably Crosby, I'd say. Makar is just easily the best defenseman in the NHL, probably going to win the Norris this year, I'd say so, because there's no way Carlson can keep up his point-per-game pace at the time I'm recording this. Nathan McKinnon, of course. Arturi Lehkonen, former Montreal Canadian. Great to see him playing the way he's playing so far. Valery Nichushkin, great comeback story for him. Seeing how he was treated in Dallas and then Colorado, he turns into that good second line forward that kind of Dallas had projected him to be. Colorado, I really like them, and they're an A for a reason. Next up is going to be the Anaheim Ducks. I don't know why I said that really, really weirdly, but Anaheim, if I can, there we go. Anaheim is my favorite NHL team. No, Anaheim is an A, actually very appropriately. I love what this team is developing. Mason McTavish, I was very, very hard on at the draft. Fuck, I'm immature. But I was very very tough on Mason McTavish when he was drafted. I think it was 3rd or 5th overall when he was drafted, and I just didn't think that this was going to be a good fit. He has proven me wrong. Mason McTavish is a perfect fit for the Anaheim Ducks. Trevor Zegras, of course, Troy Terry, 2 great young players. Trevor Zegras, going to be a top 5 player in the NHL with Cole Caulfield eventually. Love those guys. On the blue line, they do need a little bit of help, but I think John Klingberg, if they don't trade him away and if they manage to re-sign him, I think might be able to help them out. John Gibson and net. They have, I forget his name. He's a prospect for them. I think he's going to be a solid starter in the future. Love what the Ducks are doing, even though they're pretty bad still, unfortunately. I like the Ducks. I think they'll be good for the future. Next up, at number 10 is going to be a team that I think is shocking everybody how they're still here. But I'm going to put them in B just because, the rivalry. Boston, I would put them in A, but I can't really do that to Montreal. Boston is in at the B tier. They're ranked number 10 for me. They're just a good group of nice guys who, not r/nice guys, like genuine nice guys who clearly play for the team. They'll take pay cuts. Bergeron, I think, took, what was it, $3 million, $4 million, something like that, to play in Boston one more year when he easily could have gotten 8, 9 somewhere else probably for 1 year. Krejci even took a pay cut, a little bit of a pay cut. I think he took $1 million actually to return to Boston. They're playing incredible right now. I haven't watched too much Boston this year, unfortunately. Of course, Charlie McAvoy, their goaltending is pretty solid as well. They're just a nice group of guys who clearly rooted against the Mitchell Miller signing, which I think was pretty cool. Their management is probably what will keep them out of A for me. I'm going to use that as the excuse and the Mitchell Miller situation. Fuck Mitchell Miller. He's a piece of shit. And I hope that he rots. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say I hope that he dies and that I hope that he gets hit by a truck after getting abused by someone who is mentally challenged. I'm not saying that would be the perfect karma. But whenever that might happen, I'm just going to say I hope he rots. Coming in at number 9, I will actually put this team in a B tier just because I don't want to have too many A tier teams. I'm going to put the Washington Capitals. And keep in mind, boys, this is not my ranking of where I think these teams are going to finish. These are my personal rankings on how much I like these teams. Washington's at B purely for Alex Ovechkin. I do not watch the Washington Capitals for the rest of their team. I watch it purely for Alexander Ovechkin. Honestly, like if Ovechkin were not here, they'd probably be a C tier. But Ovechkin pushed them into B for me. Love Alexander Ovechkin. Just a great player. And you know what? I'm actually going to move New Jersey down to C. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm going to put Jersey down in C tier. That looks about right to me now. There might be a few changes. Might move Nashville up into C just because I think they're bland. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But Washington, again, Ovechkin, Alex Ovechkin. I want to see him break that all-time goals record of Gretzky's, I should say his all-time goals record because it's his. He's going to do it. Love Ovechkin, and I like the Washington Capitals as a result. Washington in at technically my 9th favorite NHL team. Buffalo will be ranking in at number 8. I love what the Sabres have been doing the past, I think, 2 years. Moving Jack Eichel, getting Peyton Krebs, getting Alex Tuch, getting, I think, a first-round pick as well. I forget who they picked with that. Amazing, genius, A-plus move for the Buffalo Sabres. Vegas getting rid of Peyton Krebs is going to be proving, I think, very detrimental to their success in the future, I think, even though they're good now. Yeah, get rid of more prospects for injury-ridden second-line centers. Good job, Vegas. But Buffalo, I love what they did this past draft, for example. I'm actually going to look up really quickly how their draft went because I remember they had a incredible, no, not Discord. They had an absolutely just incredible draft. Buffalo Sabres draft history. I'm pretty positive that they got, what's his name? Matthew Savoy, getting Matthew Savoy at 9th. Noah Ostland. There was another guy that they got that I'm a big fan of. Mats Lindgren, they got him. Jake Richard, I like. Owen Power, of course, at first overall a couple years back. That was pretty good. Jack Quinn, John Jason Paterka, Jakob Konechny. Look for him when he comes into the lineup eventually. Dylan Cousins, Philip Seiderqvist. They've had some great drafting the past couple years. I think what they've been doing with the team is great. Kyle Okposo as a captain is a great pick. Jeff Skinner's having a very solid rebound year so far. Buffalo, just overall, love what they're doing. I think they're going to be in a great spot in 5 years. When they're a cup contender within like 5 years, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and potentially Devin Levi are dominating the NHL, look out for those guys. Love Devin Levi too. I love Devin Levi. I think he was a free agent signing. He was a trade option. He was a trade guy they traded for. Love Devin Levi. I think he's going to be a top 5 goalie in the NHL eventually. Look out for those 2 goaltenders for Buffalo in the future. Number 7, I'm debating where to put this team, whether it's in B or A. I like watching them, but a situation recently is causing me to rank them lower, and I think the New York Islanders are going to be a B tier team. I'm sorry, Suns. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say who, but there was a situation with a certain someone that happened recently that I don't like, and they're a fan of this team. Sorry, Chloe Moretz, if you're watching this, which, if you are, thank you, I guess. I'm surprised that you'd be watching a guy with, like, 976 subscribers. I'm hoping we can get there by this point. That'd be really funny of a joke if it's actually there. Subscribers, thank you. But the New York Islanders, they're okay. They're providing a bit more offense than I think a lot of people expected out of them, which I knew they had an offensive side to them. I love their blue line. Pelech and Pulak are great. I love Noah Dobson. Matt Barzal's pretty cool too. I love Ilya Sorokin. But just their bottom six isn't amazing. Pajot is pretty good. Just overall, I feel like the arena they play out of, they're very, very overzealous fans. I think their fans take the team way too seriously, and their fans really, really get overly emotional when players retire or players leave or they don't get certain players. Booing Johnny Gaudreau was a very classless move. It was a very, very, very Philadelphia move of them, and yeah, so the Islanders coming in at B for me. Coming in, you know what? I'm going to put this team at A because everybody disrespects this team. Why not? Arizona is coming in at A. But, I'll actually put them below Buffalo. I'll put them below Buffalo because I don't like them that much. Arizona, they're playing in a college arena. How can you not love how unique that is? How can you not love seeing Arizona playing out of a goddamn college arena for the next 2.5 seasons because we're already like halfway through this season? I just like seeing that. I think it's just really funny. I think it's really, really entertaining seeing Arizona being as good as they've surprisingly been. They're like 500, something. They're around 500. It's really interesting seeing that be the case. Arizona, I like them. I want to see what they do with their future. I hope Logan Cooley, who I think is going to be a bust, I want to see him project to do good in the NHL. We'll see about the Arizona Coyotes. We'll see how they do. I hope they're good, though. Now we're into the top 5. 4 of these teams are a bit hard to rank. But number 5, where am I going to put them? You know what? I'm going to put them in... Arizona, I'm sorry. I got to put them in a B tier. I got to put them in B. I like watching Arizona games, but goddamn, because Logan Cooley, like... Yeah, thinking about it, Logan Cooley puts him down to a B. I'm not a fan of Logan Cooley. The LA Kings, I'm going to put them in a B tier too, I think. Of course, they've got Philip Deneau. Fuck off. There we go. They've got Philip Deneau, who's a former Montreal Canadian. They've got a lot of good young prospects. Quentin Byfield, who's unfortunately a bust, I think, at this point. I like what they've got in net with Quick and Peterson, or Peterson, if you will. I forget which one. Cal Peterson? I think Cal Peterson. I like what they're doing. They've got a good young team. Let me see if I can find their draft history real quick. Team. Fuck. Okay, that sucks. Los Angeles Kings. No, not Kongs. Draft history. There we go. Let me see if I can get this pulled up real quick. Yes, I can. It's like Jack Hughes, the Jack Hughes, the better Jack Hughes. I think is going to be pretty solid. I like Jared Wright. Brent Clark, I think, is going to be pretty good. Francesco Pinelli, I like that kid. Kirill Kirsanov should pan out to be pretty all right. And then, yeah, Quentin Byfield, whatever. Brock Faber, I like him. Don't get me wrong. Alex Lafreniere, better than Alexis Lafreniere, if you ask me. Then Alex Turcotte, Tobias Bjorkfoot, Arthur Kaliev. They're the LA Kings. They're a pretty good team right now. I like them a lot, and I think that they're just going to get better as they keep drafting well and hopefully trading well. I like the Kings, and they'll probably soon be back to playoff status soon. Oh, all right. Coming in at number 4, obviously S tier is going to be the teams that I love watching. So I think in A tier is going to go the Pittsburgh Penguins, purely because of Sidney Crosby. I love Sidney Crosby. I wanted to see them beat the Rangers so badly last year after going up 3-1, but the Rangers had to injure pretty much everybody good on the Penguins just to come back down 3-1. So yeah, yet another reason to dislike the Rangers. They constantly injure players when they don't need to. But Pittsburgh, I've been rooting for them pretty much ever since I became a hockey fan, like on the side, aside from Montreal. But Pittsburgh, I like them. They're in an A tier now. Of course, I have a Crosby jersey, as you guys, I think, saw in a previous video, I think. Yeah, Pittsburgh. I enjoy them. Next up, this team is actually going to go into an S tier. We're going to have the first of 2 S tier teams. That's going to be the Florida Panthers. I love the Florida Panthers. And a lot of the reason does not have to do with the actual NHL. It's more so because of the Sim League that I run. I've been the Florida Panthers since the league first started. I've been with them for over a decade at this point, in game, like a year. A year and a half, actually. I just love Florida. I love the moves that they made, adding Matthew Tkachuk to the team, keeping Barkov, obviously. Their blue line definitely has gotten a bit worse, but I think that they're still a solid team. I like Florida, hoping they can make the playoffs this year, if not Montreal. Florida, just an S tier more because of the Sim League. I like what they've done, though. I'll always root for Florida on the side as well. More so now at this point because of the Sim League. So Florida's going to be an S tier team. You guys might be saying, oh, what about real life? Like I said, Matthew Tkachuk, some of the moves they made I liked. And, yeah. Now coming into number 2, you guys actually know what my number 1 team is. So I'm going to get number 2 done really quickly, and that is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm going to put them in a C tier because it's Toronto. They're my second favorite team purely because I root for my best friend's team whenever Montreal is not playing. My best friend is a Maple Leafs fan. Overall, I feel like if I didn't know her, my best friend, I probably wouldn't care for the Maple Leafs. I probably would put them in a C. I think they're bland. I'd probably think they're whatever. Of course, the first round chokes. Matthews being overhyped to hell and back as a consistent 60-goal scorer when he's had one season and won't do it again this year, more than likely. I like William Nylander. I think if they were to trade him, it'd only do good for Nylander. Marner is all right. Tavares is a mediocre third-line center at best, I think. Nick Robertson, better than Cole Caulfield, as Leafs fans used to say. Leafs fans, of course, delusional. Michael Bunting is nowhere near a top 6 forward. Shouldn't have been up for the Calder last year. I feel like Leafs fans are, for the most part, incredibly obnoxious and annoying, and I think that if we were to off a majority of the Leafs fan base, aside from like my best friend and like 8 other people, they'd be a much more tolerable fan base. But then again, any fan base with like 9 fans would probably be more tolerable if it was just like the 9 most rational fans. Myself obviously included for number 1. But Toronto, and of course the situation that went on with Hot Take Hockey. A glamorous fuck Hot Take Hockey in the chat, please, boys, or in the comments if you guys will. Toronto is in a C tier, but my second favorite ranked because of my best friend. Number 1, there's a lot of options, but I think the New York Rangers are going to be my favorite NHL team. I think that was where I had them. Number 1 obviously is Montreal. The Montreal Canadiens are obviously my favorite NHL team in franchise history. The Montreal Canadiens is obviously my favorite NHL team. I love the Canadiens. I've watched them since I first started watching hockey. I've enjoyed watching them ever since I started watching hockey. I've been a Montreal Canadiens fan from the time that Max Pacioretty was a first-line left winger, from the time that David Desharnais was ending his time in Montreal, when we started fucking Charles Hudon on the second line and Jacob Delarose on the third line. And PK Subban's departure to Shea Weber coming in and trading Shea Weber, and Philip Deneau coming in and emerging as a first-line center for us, and then the Stanley Cup Finals run and tanking last year and being pretty solid this year so far. I followed the Montreal Canadiens from the time I first started watching hockey. I'll follow them, I think, until the day I die. Love Montreal. I don't think there's anything that this team could do to make me dislike them. I just love the Montreal Canadiens. I'm a massive fan of them. And anyone who's been a constant on the channel for more than a week, I think at this point knows how much I love the Canadiens. They're my favorite team for a multitude of reasons. Go back and watch the How I Got Into Hockey, or I think it's something like that. It's named something like that video. Go check that one out, please, boyos. Montreal Canadiens are ranked my favorite NHL team for a multitude of reasons. we'd be here for about 40 hours if I were to get into that. We're already at 40 minutes. I'm going to cut back to the... Oh, God, I just dropped my pick. We're going to get back to the main face cam setup, and I'm going to get into the outro. So I'll be back in just a minor second. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite channel, everyone includes, but it's not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, else. My name is Harris. Subscribe to my Puff Club, sorry boys. Subscribe to the Sub Up, subscribe to the Nation from Remember the Mod Squad. Thank you for monitoring any comments on any streams and or any videos is much greatly appreciated. Links to the description on the Amazon, which is the PO Box and the PayPal. The Discord, the Twitch, the Letterboxd, Speedrun account are all down there as well. I just realized, boys, that whole video was probably extremely quiet, and I apologize for that. I really apologize. I will try and get it boosted as much as I can. I don't know if I can guarantee that. Maybe we'll see. But links to description are, again, on the Amazon, which is the PayPal box and the PayPal. The Discord, the Twitch, the Letterboxd, and Speedrun account are all down there below. Thank you guys again so much for watching. My name is Harry, and I'm out. Stay classy, boys. I'm Marty Al, and just remember, no matter how bad we are like last year, how good we are like last year, or good we are like this year, go Habs, go, baby. Love you guys. See you guys. Thank you guys for coming by. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys.